Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video.
So I've got a problem. I mean, I've got lots of problems, but I've got one in particular. And somebody else made a video a couple of weeks ago, KJ Sawdust, about this problem. And I was like, hey, I didn't even realize I had this problem, but I do have that problem. And if I have that problem too, then lots of people have that problem. So here's the deal. This is a joiner. It makes fat boards, flat boards, but it's also a transformer. And this is a planer. It turns fat boards into skinny boards. All right, hopefully those who have no idea or care what a joiner or a planer are now up to speed and we can continue forward. Here's the deal. Lately, I've been doing a lot of curvy furniture. I was just getting some of this prepped for some curved bent lamb craziness that I'm doing as a collaborative project with Blacktail Studio. You probably know him. Bending wood requires really thin strips. As you glue them together, they create a rigid, curved piece. Another example is veneer. Now, veneers are really expensive, and I just want to be able to do this in the shop. Typically, this is done on a drum sander. Now, I don't have one of those. I don't know that I have room for one of those. This is a carbide planer, which means it's got little teeth all the way around. And as you feed really thin stock through it, it just goes and eats it all. I don't want my wood eaten, so I'm gonna fix it. So welcome to a new series titled Solving Other YouTubers' Problems that are also my own problems. Therefore, solving my own problems. That's a working title. We'll work on that. Oh, hey there. I'll bet you were expecting Nick. Today, Nick's not here. Instead, you get me, Keith Swanson. Now, that's not to be confused with the cat-loving, green tape evangelist, Keith Johnson. I'm Heath Swanson. He did a video a couple weeks ago on trying to use a vacuum to solve this problem. No wonder that didn't work. You can tape them down to a board, but it becomes very monotonous, especially when you have this many laminations to deal with. So I'm going to try to block off the rollers by shoving wedges underneath the rollers at the specific height, so they're not pushing and pinching down on the infeed quite as hard. The roller design, so basically there's two rollers and the cutter head sits beneath it, and as it grabs the wood underneath the roller, pinches it down really tight, and that can cause it to spring back up past the roller and just work really thin stuff into the cutter head, and it just eats it. We'll see if that works.
So this issue tends to arise on stock with the thickness of give or take 1/8 of an inch thick. So the risers that will block off those infeed rollers are going to be set at about 1/8 inch higher than the platform. That way, anything less than 1/8 of an inch, it won't be pinching.
Yeah, that didn't work. I pulled this out and I can see those kickback fingers were stuck into these guides. So I'm going to try feeding the whole sled in and seeing if that helps at all. All right, that was kind of promising. I think with lighter cuts, it'll feed better because they'll have a little more grip on them. So I'm going to wax the heck out of this. Thanks to Walrus Oil for the Christmas present. They sent out a ton of product. Also, check out this sweet tumbler. It's from Alec over at Owlhead Woodco, who does all my medallion inlays. Freaking awesome.
All right, moment of truth. And while we watch to see how that turns out, I'd like to take a moment to tell you about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Now, I've had my domains and website through Squarespace for at least the last 4 years. It's made it really easy to make a beautiful website while funneling traffic from all over the web on my social presence down into See My Portfolio. That's where I showcase all my work. So I generate leads for custom furniture through my site, but also have a shop for smaller things like my merch, t-shirts, hats. It makes it super easy on the back end with really cool domains like .furniture. So head on over to squarespace.com/SawyerDesign for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks for sponsoring this video, Squarespace. Now let's get back to this project.
Before, after. You know what that is? That's tits.
A sample size of 1, however, is not so tits.
So I eventually did find the limit where it wanted to start eating boards, and it appears about 1.3 millimeters or 0.04 inches. 0.04 inches is right between 1/32 and 3/64, so sub 16th inch before they start to fall apart. Did it eat that side? Didn't eat that side. That it's not going to be part of this project, evidently, but that's really damn thin.
Hey, real quick though.
80% of you are not subscribed, which is just like, that's my bad. I'm obviously doing something wrong there. So please hit that subscribe button, hit like.
I really appreciate it.
So as you can see where it hits the roller, it is wearing a little bit on this. I think that would continue to wear over time and may affect the depth at which this is effective. So maybe dropping in a ball bearing right here to support that roller right. Oh, a ball bearing would work. I don't have any of those. Hang on. What I do have is some brass shim stock that'll dissipate the heat well. Definitely will take a while to wear through that. That might work.
I'm sure somebody will ask for plans. I'm not going to do that, but if you happen to have the same machine as I do, these are the dimensions. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that. I think overall I'm really pleased with this design. The only thing I might do is add a dip here for the cutter and then bring this roller support also to the outfeed roller as well to keep it from crunching. Although I find that to be far less of an issue than the infeed side. Blue tape rules. So that's pretty cool. I think I solved Keith Johnson's problems. You're welcome, Keith. All right, thanks for tuning in for the first episode in this series of fixing other YouTubers' problems that are actually my problems, therefore fixing my own problems series. I appreciate you all watching. As always, love the curvy table base that I am doing in collaboration with Blacktail Studio up on the first. Tell a friend about this channel if you would. I really would appreciate that. So please hit that subscribe button, hit like, let me know down in the comments if you have other tricks for any of this veneer stuff, and I will catch you in about 10 days. Peace.